In the fall of 1967, we somewhat began to realize that Black Americans on the campus were being denied housing. That was our number one priority at the time, was the discrimination both on and off campus. We made a series of demands on the university, but everything came to an abrupt halt on April 25th, in which 4 ladies on the campus bus were assaulted.
So Gloria and I were coming from a meeting on April 25th of the Black Student Union. We got on the bus, and there were 2 other Black women on the bus as well who were students. So the 4 of us sat in the front 2 rows, and this happened to also have been 2 weeks after the assassination of Martin Luther King. So everyone was still feeling this mix of sadness, anger, disillusionment, and the bus driver just all of a sudden got into our conversation by stating, "You can't be talking about this on the bus. We can't have that kind of conversation on the bus." He called the campus police, who made us get off the bus. And we ran into some other students who had been lingering and left the meeting, and we went to the police station to file a report. And the police station was packed, so packed that so many of the students had to stand outside of the police station.
We asked the police captain chief, what was the situation? Why did this happen? And his viewpoint was more so of disbelief that, oh no, my policeman didn't do anything. So we called a meeting with Dr. Corbally for the 26th.
We were not to be denied. We took our concerns straight to the 2nd floor in the administration building.
There were a lot of students. There may have been some 64, 75 of us, and we all crowded into this trustees room.
We go into the administration building to try to talk about the situation, and then we were told, the police didn't do anything, the meeting's over. And I basically said that the meeting wasn't over until we said it was over. And we ended up being in there for approximately 10 hours.
No one at the time thought about a takeover, or that wasn't the plan. However, with the recalcitrance of the administration, things got more and more tense. I would say between 9 or 10 in the morning to about 12 o'clock, the building was open to people to come and go. However, at about 12 o'clock, the building was somewhat contained or sealed off. I had heard by phone and some of the discussion that was around me that we were in great peril, in that the National Guard had been alerted, the state police were alerted. We had put ourselves in a very precarious position. I went to the Oval and I made a speech to students that were on the Oval. I made an appeal to the whites that now was the time for them to assist their comrades, their Black comrades. I came back with quite a few people, and I told them to assume the 1st floor in an attempt to provide some type of buffer for our position, and they did.
There was a sea of white faces on that 1st floor. So what's going on? What's happening here? And then someone said, the building has been taken over. And I said, what? Gloria, we're like, what? The building has been taken over? And we were like, oh my goodness.
As we were going through discussions and back and forth, there was this serious tone that it had taken on. We had these demands for months, so those things seemed to be they were being taken seriously.
When we walked out 10 hours later, we had an understanding from the university that they had not been doing enough for Black students. on all different levels. We were also given understanding from the university that there wouldn't be any repercussions. There was even a sheet that some students signed to basically say, okay, we're going to excuse you from classes today.
I mean, we weren't saying we got it, so everything's going to be, hunky-dory. But we did come out thinking that was it, that we're not going to be in charges. And then the announcement that the prosecutor was looking at bringing in a grand jury to consider charges, including potential felony charges. But nobody, I think, thought that it was going to be something more than trespassing.
They had us down for kidnapping, 304 years of felony counts. I'm like, what in the world happened that warranted all that? And so the word was still out there because the administrators were so angry. There were 34 indicted. 7 of us were expelled among the indicted. So I was one of those 7. And that's how I know that bus incident, that driver really had a lot more influence than we did as students. Because the 4 women on the bus were expelled from school.
I got arrested for draft evasion. I said, I got 3 weeks to graduate. How could that happen? Well, someone at the university, and we pretty much know who it was, called my draft board in Cleveland and said, basically, get this Negro out of here. And then I got kicked out of school.
After the indictments, being arrested, and being expelled from school, I was really upset about being expelled from school. And I didn't want to switch to go to another institution. I really wanted to go to Ohio State. I'm going back to Ohio State. I can't be defeated. I'm there. I'm going back.
There was an immediate moving of the needle in that the administration became a bit more amicable to us in terms of listening at least.
We ended up getting a Black Studies program. We got an understanding that there needed to be some sort of recruitment of Black faculty. A lot of it was put on the students, though. Well, can you find us someone with these credentials? But it was an understanding that things had to change. That was the bottom line. I think the record should show that by us being here 50 years later, we're still concerned about the university. We're still advocates of the university. We want to see it being the best university that it could be. And I said that we still have a lot of work to do. But I think the university is trying to go in the right direction.
I'm proud that I played a role in this process, in what has ultimately become this recognition. It's amazing. It's amazing.